Hey guys, welcome to new recap episode of the podcast. Here with Andrew, Tosin still missing, and we have a guest today again, Samuel. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's
Welcome, Samuel.
it's
I
lovely
need
being.
to I need to add that clapping thing soon,
Yeah, we need to add the
like our virtual clap. Yeah.
effect because we used to have that before. I'm not sure where that went. But yeah,
I think
Samuel,
I think I
nice to
should.
have you on. Samuel also does have his own podcast. He also does he speaks about sports. He's also in sports management, at least degree
Hey,
wise. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I didn't even know you know that, but
Yeah. I mean, I've been keeping tabs on your pod. I watch it as well, so
yeah.
I
Thanks,
did
bro.
hear. But
Thanks.
for sure,
Yeah.
you could tell us more about that anyways before we get into any of our
Uh,
discussion.
so pretty much to make it pretty quick, I'm in my master's for sports management and leadership. Honestly, I've known for a long time I wanted to work in sports and do a lot of stuff in sports for like a long time and stuff like that. But I think it's just motivation and love for playing a particular sport for a long time. I played soccer pretty much all my whole life and all. And I think the motivation is just, hey, I think we had so many experiences where we're back home in Nigeria and all, and we had people that were pretty good, and some of us felt we were really good also, but we also saw people that were amazing and stuff like that. And I think since then, I've just there's just the value of growing grassroots football or grassroots sports, and at least
Yeah,
giving chances to young adults and youths to actually like play sports and develop and grow a structure and infrastructure and all this type of things. So I think after I was done with my undergrad in Carleton for communications and media studies, because at that time I was in Carleton, but there was no sports management degree, so I was doing communication and media studies. And as much as people always think that I should do media and everything, I actually have no type of interest in terms of like career wise media,
yeah,
right? It was
yeah,
always like sports management, building structures, infrastructure, development for kids and all. So I decided after a year doing an internship, I did an internship in a university in Canada, yeah, like in an athletics department. Then I was like, oh,
yeah,
I'm going to go do my masters because I still, as much as I love it and I have so much ideas and anything, I still felt that like I still needed a lot of knowledge
yeah,
and
yeah,
understanding of what I'm going into and things that I want to do. And obviously, you should never be married to your idea. You also don't know other lanes that you're actually going to have interest in and all. So that was why I was like, okay, I'm going to go for my masters and everything. And it's been challenging and it's been great, but
yeah,
yeah, it's pretty much
yeah.
my life.
Yeah, one thing to touch on there before we move on is, which I think is underrated sometimes, is how if if you have talent but in the wrong place or talent in a place where there's no opportunity for that talent to be groomed or to grow or anything, the talent will ultimately die, right? So I think this speaks to the importance of having the proper infrastructure in place for people, again, younger adults, youths, kids to actually grow
Yeah.
their talents.
Yeah, and one last thing I'll say is that like a lot of us that grew up in Nigeria and everything, like one of the things I noticed when I was like older and all is that I was like, hey man, we're not even given a chance to fail. Like we never got to a point where we actually even could see if we're not even good enough. Like we
Yeah,
just didn't have that opportunity.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
like, it's important that younger kids actually have a chance because we always watch
That's
football now.
valid.
Like
That's true.
you're not when you get to a certain age, you're not learning football again. Like it's all you learned when you were like 13, 14,
yeah,
10
yeah,
that you
yeah,
grew. Then when you're 17,
Mhm.
18, there's not too much a coach like
yeah, yeah.
Guardiola and all these coaches are
At
not
that
sitting
point,
sitting you down to come and yeah, exactly. It starts from grassroots football and grassroots sports, and obviously now being in Canada, I've learned other sports and other sports I'm interested in. So it's gone like the vision has gotten more bigger than like only football and stuff
yeah,
like that. It's
yeah,
more into
yeah,
more sports and everything. But yeah, that's yeah,
yeah. Sounds good, man. Now,
yeah,
big ups there.
for sure.
So yeah, so today, anyways, what we're speaking about, what the plan to speak about today is the NBA playoffs, right? So let's get right into it. So right now we have, I mean, playoffs have started anyways, but I think most, I don't think there's been any game threes yet, just game twos so far.
No game threes, yeah.
So let's start with the East. Let's start with the East. So I think what I want us to do is just to go through those games. I mean, ultimately we're going to make our predictions, but we can just go through the matchups at first and see. So first game on here is Celtics Heat. Um, so yeah, let me hear you guys' thoughts on who you have coming out of that matchup, and any additional thoughts on the matchup.
Well, Sam, you want to go first?
Samuel, you go first.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Celtics hits. This should be very easy. I don't even feel we should need to talk to it. I feel if the Celtics don't win this in 5, we should revoke. I feel we should let Miami go through. We should just give them like you guys go through because of that. There's no reason why this series should end more than 5. Celtics are the better team, most talented team. Hits are. We know how the Heats like to play. They like to junk things up, make things hard on you. Now, I know like 95% of this series, they've been playing using the zone just to mess up with the Celtics. But I think the Celtics are just more talented, have better shooting. There's no Jimmy Butler, so there's no reason why the Celtics should not beat them in 4. Like, I don't feel there's any reason why you should not beat them in 4. But
Yeah, completely. I completely agree with that, man. But Celtics are a very funny team to me. Where we don't need to go into that, but if Butler was there, I might put my money on Heat because Celtics are just
Yeah,
kind of tend
we've seen that
to
before.
just flop. We've seen it too many times.
I've seen it too many times, man.
Yeah, but I definitely agree. Like this should be an easy one.
Yeah.
They should not be going more than 5 games with this Heat team with no Butler. If they do, then it just speaks to how unserious they are. Yeah, Andrew, how
Yeah,
about you?
same. I'm completely in line with what you guys have said. I feel like this should be a walkover or maybe like a warm up for Celtics for the playoffs. But so far,
Yeah,
as we can even see at the moment, they are losing. So anything can happen. Just expect anything from these boys.
Listen, Listen, and honestly, the Heat has done stuff to Celtics this past few years that I feel if you guys are
Yeah,
very serious, like you should beat them. You should beat
casually.
them. Like beat them to the. Like you should beat. Like it should not be. Oh, we're just trying to win this
yeah, with
series. Like
some
it should be.
revenge.
It should be like we are trying to
Blow
beat
out
you
in all
guys'
four
head
games, but
into
Yeah,
the ground, blow
yeah,
blow them out of the water. But even if you watch the first game where they blew them out, they were leading like by 25, and
yeah,
the
yeah.
Heat made
yeah,
that thing like a 10 point, 8 point game. And I'm like, there's something wrong with this team. But
There's something wrong with that team, man. But they will be exposed eventually. I definitely believe in that.
yeah.
But anyways, moving on to the next game. This one too should be pretty quick. Cleveland and Orlando.
Oh,
I definitely have Cleveland in maybe 5 as well. I think Orlando just don't have the experience. It's kind of new grounds for them, and unfortunately, they are playing against someone like Donovan Mitchell that does have the experience, and even the Cavs organization as a whole, like has like the experience at this point. But it's good
I
experience
think
for
I think
Orlando.
they'll get swept.
Yeah. Honestly, I think they'll get one in Orlando just because they're actually a very good team, right? And with the home crowd and them just getting one game right,
Yeah.
I feel they're able to win one.
Yeah, like
Hopefully.
Orlando are the. I know people may not. Orlando are like the second or third best defensive team in this league. They are incredible defenders. The problem is they can't shoot for their lives. Yeah, I even feel that I can step in there right now and hit. I hit. I hit some threes for those guys. They, I, their offensive rating is probably one of the worst I've ever seen in playoff history. They can't make a shot. So for the Cavs, it's just easy. We're going to go on that screens. We're going to leave you guys shoot as much times as you guys
Yeah,
want.
yeah,
But they have great talent. But obviously, as season goes by, they need to improve and get like shooters. They need shooters around them and stuff like that because they have incredible defensive talent and all. And Paolo Banquero is really good too. But again, as I said, this should be a sweep.
Yeah, and I know they link them. They even linked them to Clay Thompson one time.
Yeah,
Where it's just like, oh, that would be a good thing for him to maybe clear his head and start again as a shooter. Because to every point you're making, there's no one player I can look to in Orlando and be like, oh, this scorer or this shooter. They
no,
don't have that. Banchero is the closest, and he's not. He's definitely not a shooter
he's
to
not
start with.
he's not a
And
shooter.
and when he's scoring, he's not there yet. But again, I can understand that because he's still a fairly new player in the league, so he has to develop himself to that point. But
Yeah,
he's good. But I just see this as a good experience for them. And next season, they add the scoring and they go again.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
So next one, this one's an interesting one. Bucks and Pacers.
Oh boy. Oh man.
No, I guess one important thing to note here is no Giannis, obviously. No Giannis. I mean, so far Lillard has gotten lit in the first half, but second half he just seems to be missing. I don't know if it's fatigue or what, but like and something funny with Bucks too is they actually play better when only one of their star is playing. At least in my eyes, like when I
Yeah,
watch Bucks with just Giannis and when I watch Bucks with just Dame, they just play better. And I feel it's because the stars are able to like proper star in their role. But for some weird reason, almost a full season and it's almost like they can't both shine
together.
together, which is just very interesting. I won't lie, but yeah, for this one, I might have to go Pacers, man. If I'm being very honest.
Yeah, I'm going for like a game six, game seven Bucks. I think they'll pull it through at the end. I think it's
If it
okay.
goes game
I think
seven,
Pacers doing well. Yeah, but I think Bucks.
if it goes game seven,
They'll
I
get it.
I I, I think Bucks might also win, but I fear that Pacers might end this before it even gets that far, man.
You
I'm
think Halliburton has the juice to take them
And that's the thing, though.
he's not
Halliburton
been playing well.
he has not even started. Do
exactly?
you get what I'm saying? Like it's all Siakam, and Pacers are a very good team. I think they're also
You can't
number
depend on
one.
In
They're the number one
as a
offensive.
city, we know we can't depend on like from Toronto's experience. You know you can't depend on Pascal. It's off and on. Literally,
Yeah,
that's
but, but,
that's
but that's but
style.
that but the thing with that though, Andrew, is like I feel there are certain players that just need to win you a game or two and
Mm.
whatnot. Do you get what I'm saying? Pascal has given them 30 of 35, 37, whatever,
35
like
twice.
twice, right?
Yeah,
And they've stolen one game on the road. Now, for the rest of the series, obviously we all know Pascal is not averaging
Yeah,
35 points for the
next game,
series.
this
He's going
game
to
or
drop
the
a
one for
few
tomorrow will
points.
be very low.
Exactly. But now Halliburton is averaging what maybe 10 points or less
Yeah.
for the series so far. At some point he's about to pick it up. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel again Pacers I feel like a very good team, balanced team, whatever it is. So again, when Pascal drops, I feel someone picks up for him, like things like that, and they will just find a way to. And them being the number one rated offensive team, that's not an accident. There's a reason. There's a reason they're the number one offensive team. They share the basketball well, from assists to everything, and then even scoring wise, like they have Turner, like as well. Turner, who's also contributing to the scoring. So yeah,
yeah. Unfortunately, I'm a Bucks fan, so I'm not. I'm. I'm not confident one bit, and there are reasons why I'm not confident. And I don't want to go on a whole rant about this and everything. The first thing you mentioned was our two stars don't play. Our two stars don't play in well together and in tandem, and this has been recurring through the whole season. It's almost like Yanis exists as this one thing, and Lillard exists as this one thing. So teams are not defending them together, like through their own. You know how teams defend Jokic and Murray, right? You have to defend that pick and roll, but there's nothing teams are defending with Giannis and Dame together. It almost feels like teams are using the defensive schemes when Dame was in Portland on Dame. And they're using the defensive scheme when Giannis was alone. And it's almost like there's this there's no holistic like merging of their talents and all. So That's one thing. The second thing is the Bucks are probably the slowest team in the league in terms of foot speed. They are a slow-footed, unathletic team, and the Pacers are literally zoom, 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 zoom on the court. Like they just run and run and run. And while that is fine, you cannot be ill-disciplined. And the Bucks are very ill-disciplined in their shot creation and decision making. I watch them. They're my team. I get frustrated a lot because I'm like, you guys can't be making this type of decisions. We have no sort of Patrick Beverly is our only sort of defensive disruptor. That's the only sort of defensive disruptor on the perimeter. Malik Beasley is meant to be that. He's not good enough and also has IQ issues. So there's so many issues with my Bucks right. There's so many issues with my Bucks right now. There's so many issues with my Bucks right now that I'm like, hey, you guys may get beaten in this series because also Giannis has a calf strain, and that kind of injury can get really bad. And it's not look. They said he's not running yet. I don't think he's doing any
Yeah,
contact.
say he's not running. He says he's not running yet.
He's not doing any contact. He's not doing any contact this thing. And this is the type of series that, man, Giannis can drop 50 on them every single game. And your weaknesses may not show and you guys may get through the tie. But as of now, I just don't know how we win because we just don't have the right habits. We're not athletic. The Pacers are cooking us. And as much as I agree with Andrew and say Siakam is on and off, I've never been a big Siakam guy. Against the Bucks, there's no on and off. You always be on because there's nobody that is going to. There's nobody
there's actually no one that can give him problems.
There's nobody that is going to resist. It's too easy for him. There's nobody that is going to give any type of resistance. Patrick Beverly can try, but he's 6'1". Siakam is 6'9". Yeah. Size is going to win at the end of the day. So for my Bucks, I hope we win because it's going to be. This has been a season from hell. It's been a disaster. But honestly, just watching and taking away, I'm a fan. There's just no evidence. Without Giannis, even with Giannis, we may lose this tie. With Giannis, we may lose this match.
And I think one thing you touched on that is actually so key is the pace at which the Pacers play compared to Bucks. Like, I feel like that's a major advantage for them and like major disadvantage for you guys. It's like it's just too quick, and you guys
very slow.
I guess you guys just can't keep up.
Like name one fast player on the Bucks. Even Giannis is not like speed; it's more length. It's more length. Brook Lopez is slow. Middleton has taken too many injuries. He's very slow. Middleton has taken too many injuries. He's no longer that good defensively. Only Patrick Beverly, can give you some speed and everything and all. But again, that's 161 guy. Jay Crowder is slow-footed. Every single player is slow-footed. The only player that is not slow-footed is our rookie, Andre Jackson. And for some reason, he's been relegated to the reserves and he's not been playing. And I'm like, this is probably one of our best. This is our best defender in the team. And because he's a rookie, he's not getting time on the court. And that's literally what I'm saying. So yeah, I'm very sad and I'm very hopeless for my Bucks. We'll see.
Yeah, I stand with them, like, edging it out game 7. Just experience.
Yeah, I'll be surprised. I won't lie. I'll be surprised if Bucks edge it out, especially without Giannis.
I feel like it will be very interesting.
Especially without Giannis.
I don't think it will be something. I think it's something.
But if they let Pacers go back home and go up 3-1, they should just
definitely.
Lions for sure. they have to still win at Pacers. Yeah. I
actually feel sorry. I feel they need to steal this next game. You cannot you have to steal the next one. Like you need to elongate the chances of Giannis coming back. So you need to give him more time. And because again, if you guys remember that Kevin Durant's injury that he had that time, it was from a calf strain. The Achilles he had against Toronto. So Giannis' injury is very dicey. So you have to
because when I saw him go off the court that day, I was like, I hope that was not Achilles, because it was the normal, he looked back and everything, and I'm like, I hope nothing has popped, right? But and they have to be careful too, right? They can't just rush him in, and then he gets a injury and then he's out for the next 6-7 months.
I think it's okay. Like, they shouldn't if I was his like medical advice, I'll just be like, bro, try again next year. Like, there's no point
As
Yeah,
in,
doing
man.
this. We saw
Because
this
you guys
with
are not winning
Kane.
this year, so
Yeah,
don't kill
like
yourself,
there's no
man.
point. Just let it go.
yeah,
Yeah.
facts.
So, anyways, on to the next one here. Which also, I won't lie, we have some pretty good matchups. We have for this one, we have Knicks and Philly,
Whew.
and Knicks are up.
Yeah, and I think Knicks are going to win easily too, because Philly is not a serious team, and they keep proving year in year out that they are not serious. A serious organization, serious team, serious players. What Embiid was doing last night was so immature, like saying, "Oh, I'm not going to speak in French." But guys, shut up! You lost. You deserve by the media.
Yeah.
Like, why are you picking and choosing what language you want to respond in?
Yeah, but also he was looking down. He refused to look up to
It's
the
your
camera and
job
I
to
everything.
think
I'm
I
just
speak
think
like,
to
he has
the
an issue with
media.
his eye.
It's your job.
oh yeah, someone was saying
Yeah, so
painkillers.
I don't know.
I think he has an issue with his eye. I think he
Yeah,
has
but
an issue with his eye.
Yeah, they're
still,
pumping that guy
like
painkillers, man.
you are the MVP.
but
Like
yeah, no, no,
we
I agree with
need
you.
you to
I
at least have a ring. We've been fight.
yeah,
I was like this time last year, I was championing MB to win MVP and all that. And a year after, I'm just like, man, I'm just giving it to your kid. Someone that's going to do
yeah. I don't think
something.
he has a championship in him. Embiid is also someone I
Facts.
compare to Tatum in the sense that those guys cannot win a championship
Facts.
being the best players on their team. Like I just don't see it happening. They have to be the second. Like if Embiid wants to go and obviously it might be too late in his career, but like if he wants to go and pair up with someone like maybe Steph Curry in Golden State, or like do you get like or Tatum pairing up with like a LeBron or like
Mm.
just someone that at least fits well with your style of basketball and all that. That's the only way. But those
Yeah,
guys, you
I
can't hold
actually
that number
agree.
one spot on the team. The- I feel like they just don't understand what it actually takes to do that. So to your point, the process, Embiid has tend not to trust the process, but he doesn't even say it against him because now shame has caught him. But like there was a point every year like this,
I
trust the
don't think
process, trust the
he's.
process, trust the
I
process.
think they trust the
So at this
process.
point, even him, I don't think he trusts. I don't think he trusts that process.
The,
Um, and he's injured. To be fair, like I don't want to, I don't want to go too much on Embiid because he's injured. You can tell he's playing through injury. But again, I always say once you decide to come and play, you're coming to play. If you're not good enough to play, then sit down. Do you
I,
get like
I I was speaking on that part. I was like, I'm actually surprised he's playing. And let me tell you what my biggest thing is playing. And to be honest, kudos to him for him playing. And he's actually doing way better than I thought he
yeah,
would
yeah,
do. Right?
yeah,
But he has major playoff failures. Like he just has major playoff failures. And this is a big man that is like 200, maybe even 300 pounds. And he's heavy, one. And also, he has knee injuries. Since he came into this league, knee injuries. And for you, that's literally what's carrying the guy. And this is an incredible player, but he has major playoff failures. And for the series itself, my thing is because he's so hampered right now, the advantages Knicks have with Josh Hart, Hartenstein, all these guys jumping from the air, winning offensive. Did you see? If you look at those offensive rebounds, Embiid is
yeah.
just Embiid is just standing under
Yeah,
the
you can't really
rim,
jump.
and he can't jump because we saw what happened when he tried to do that jump, the alley when he threw the self alley oop in the first game, and it almost looked like this guy was gone. And since then, if you've noticed, he's literally been acting like a small forward. He's just there, standing and shooting. And
Yeah,
because
yeah,
he's that skillful and he has that kind of talent, he's going to make a lot of those jump shots, right? But as he said, Philly tends to be unserious. And these are the two things I want to say. The Philly players, apparently, the coach and B, they were like really confident. They're like, we can still come back into this series and everything. And I don't think they're lying because they've played well. They played well these two games. But the issue is in Philly, sometimes their home crowd almost becomes like an away crowd against you. That crowd can turn on them
yeah,
so quickly.
yeah,
And everybody in the team starts to get nervous. Everybody in the team. So, like, as you see with the Knicks is a home crowd. Like,
It's
there's
all
no
over.
turning on them. Like, they are pushing these guys to go to the right end. If Philly starts this next game against them and they're down 15, down 15 to the Knicks. Just watch the Philly crowd. They will start booing them, and this goes is all of this goes to the psychology of now these players start to like be mentally broken and fatigued, and plus Embiid being injured. I just don't see how they can make this series a series. Like, and actually, because I feel if he was healthy, they beat the Knicks.
Yeah, yeah,
They beat
1000.
the Knicks.
I don't really
But
believe
with
that
yeah,
though. Honestly, Knicks solid, very solid team this year.
to be honest,
In my
to be,
opinion,
But
no, no.
because see, here's the thing, right? Like without really going into Philly, like because I personally feel they have a lot of unserious players, guys like Tobias Harris and the rest. Like Tobias Harris is one of my I won't say I dislike him, but when you're just looking at the player and just like this is just not like this is just an unserious player. That's Tobias Harris to me, right?
I'm
But
so disappointed in that dude.
Yeah,
Jesus
bruh,
Christ.
unbelievable for someone that is getting paid that much money to be almost doing nothing
He's
is
like
insane.
it's like
yeah.
he's checked
It's
out.
like a
It's like
side
he's
hustle for
absolutely
him.
just checked out, and he's been
But
season over season. And I agree with and Andrew, I agree with you in the fact that you actually don't like if someone tells me even if Embiid is healthy, they don't win. I actually will still believe that person because again, Joel Embiid has a knack to not show up at this time of the year. It's just it's just part of
yeah,
him, and until he shows us that he can, Maxi is looking unfazed. Like
yeah.
Maxi is
I was going to say that's the only player on that team that I trust through and
Max.
through is
Yeah,
Maxi. And one little thing too with Embiid that I always say I think affects his game. Again, something little, some people might think otherwise, is the cheap ass fouls he gets in
like
regular season.
bro.
They don't call that shit in playoffs. Do you get what I'm saying? And I feel sometimes that's what gets him going too, where it's just like, okay, when it's not really going for him, he'll just be going on some lazy ass fouls. He starts seeing he sees the ball going into the net and things like that, then that helps. Like, but playoffs, man, you're not getting half of those calls. So what next? Right. But anyways, I think Knicks, honestly,
I think this got
um
this.
normally if Embiid was fully healthy, I would have said Sixers to come back. But then again, I just don't see it. But at the same time, like we're talking about a Knicks team that has just Jalen Brunson. Like, do you get what I'm saying?
And Jalen Brunson is not
And he
playing
has
well.
been yes, and he has been bad. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he's shooting
He's
second
shoot
worst
he shot
percentage in playoffs history.
he
Like to
shot
start.
eight out of 29, and I believe 9 out of 29 the next game. It's something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
So do you get what I'm saying? So it's just like these guys are two up with Bronson nowhere to be found. So to everything you guys are saying, that's an unserious team, obviously, because if their best player Bronson is playing that bad and you're 2-0 down and they don't have a second star because
No,
Randall is out, is DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, like come on, bro.
Bro,
Yeah,
Josh
like
Hart
you can't.
did you guys see the last game? Josh Hart
yeah.
played Wait, Josh Hart played Tom. Someone needs to arrest Tom
Trisha
Thibodeau.
went off in
Josh
the
Hart
last
played
game.
48 minutes. He did not take him out of the game.
Well, you know what? That guy, I think he likes to suffer, man. Josh Hart, I think he prides himself in being able to be there. He prides
I
himself in it, and I'm
totally.
sure, I'm sure the coach doesn't have much to do with it. Where it's just
Some
like, I'm sure he wants to bring him out sometimes, and that guy's like, nah,
someone
I'm going to
someone
die
said
here.
someone said no player under Tom Thibodeau has ever complained about playing time. You can never complain about playing time with that guy. That
They
guy
will
will
play
give you
you.
all the playing time in the world.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's move on to the west side. So on the west, pretty
Firecracker.
interesting here too. So let me start with the number one seed. So OKC Pelicans. Um, I actually think that's a pretty balanced one, if I'm being honest. Like if Pelicans had Zion, they might have had a chance to upset OKC. But at the same time, I would say I feel like OKC don't get enough credit in terms of how good of a team they actually are. Like everyone focuses a little too much on they're a young team, they're the youngest team in the league, they don't have playoff experience, da 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 da. I see that obviously being a problem as they go deeper into playoffs. But again, I feel like everyone should just take them for face value, which is they're the number one seed. You don't get there by mistake. You get what I'm saying? They work their ass off to get there. But yeah, I will take them in this series though, at least for this one.
Yeah, same. Take them. I think OKC would do this probably game 5 or game 6. Yeah, I think OKC is
I'll say
completely
6 or 7,
defendable. They
sure. I don't see
are
them being down in five.
yeah.
Five is five.
Well,
Five will be tough, man. Like because
we'll see.
because as much as
We
I
just need
think
Shy to.
now, but here's the thing
I
though,
just
Andrew. As much as
okay. So
I
go on.
don't fully buy into the whole they are young, it would still play a part in them not being able to do certain things. And I may be wrong, obviously, but I feel it's a team with experience and maturity that can sweep a team like Pelicans or beat them in five. So I feel like that immaturity will show. But again, just because they're the better team in six, for instance, they eventually correct what they need to correct, and it's like, okay, these silly mistakes you're making, like being playing away in the playoffs, like it's very different from playing away like in the regular season, like things like that. So again, I just see that being a problem. I also don't know if Zion is going to be back for this series or if there's a chance for that to happen. But yeah, like I have them winning, sure, but I think that would be their bust up. But
Yeah.
some
I think
You have OKC
the
winning,
series.
or who?
No, I'm
Who's
saying
about
I
to?
have them winning the series, but like I don't think
Oh,
they'll go
okay. Yeah.
past like next round.
yeah, I th-
Oh,
I think
mhm.
OKC definitely wins this series. But the thing is, if you guys watch the first game, they were like there was a Pelicans were
It was close.
about to steal that game 1 from them, and
Yeah.
Pelicans played really well. And the one biggest thing is, as much as Andrew, I think Andrew was about to mention, hey, you just need Shy to go off. The issue is Shy has Herb Jones on him, and if you've heard anything about Herb Jones in this league, that dude is an incredible defender. So one of the things that is very special about the NBA is that if your team does not really have to double team that team's best player, you are in a good place. Because now we're not showing him double teams. That means we can stick to the other 4 guys. And
Yeah,
True.
having
okay,
someone
have that.
like Heb Jones on Shy means that, hey man, I don't need to double team. I don't need to put this. It's not like Luca, right? Someone like Luca, you have to send 2, 3, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
having someone like Herb Jones is so important to what the Pelicans are doing. But the thing is also, OKC has Lou Dot, who is doing the same freaking shit to Brandon Ingram, and he's absolutely taking him out of the game. So I think the teams match up in a certain way, but the rebounding thing with Valanciunas winning every single rebound from OKC is definitely an issue because there was a play in the fourth quarter where Valanciunas got the rebound. I think was it 3 times or 2 times, and someone else like they got the rebound 3 times because OKC are tiny and small, and the Pelicans missed open shot, open shot, open shot,
yeah.
and literally,
I like that you brought that up because watching OKC, I've always said I think their biggest problem is size, right? Because their biggest man is essentially Chet, right?
Chet,
And Chet cannot stop anyone. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
he's a
sure,
stick.
he's a good defensive player and everything,
Called him a
but
stick.
any big man would back into Chet like so easily. Do you get what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
sometimes you need body, you need physicality. He doesn't have that. And in the long run, obviously past this, I feel one of the improvements or adjustments OKC can make for next season is getting an actual big man. I feel like Chet will be perfect as a four because he has the movement, right? Like
yeah,
he can easily play as a four, but you need an actual big man because especially once the ball passes, because Banchus is not a top big in the league, but he's going to have a field day because Chet just can't. Like,
The Valanciunas. I don't know. Did you guys see the video of Valanciunas carrying Jalen Williams with the ball? There was a video. Jalen Williams and him were holding the ball, and he lifted him
oh
up.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
this dude is a massive
Giant.
man,
Yeah,
and
man.
that's if the Pelican if the Pelicans are going to win the series is because of him. If they can win as many offensive rebounds and just keep on being defensively distant, they need Brandon
Yeah,
Ingram to show up though. But
yeah,
the issue
and
is
even McCollum.
McCollum. He's in that age now that I'm not even expecting so much from him. Brandon Ingram is the youngin, but the issue is Brandon Ingram has Ludot on him, and
Yeah, it's a
that
problem.
guy is probably the best perimeter defender in the league. Like I know people don't talk about it too much,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
Brandon Ludot has been a top three perimeter defender in this league for like 3 years now, but people just don't talk
Don't
about
talk
it.
about it. Yeah, yeah,
The guy is incredible. So
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, okay, Sisha. Like, props to them. I think they're a really, really good team, and it's just a matter of like, are they going to get phased or not? If they don't get phased, then I feel they'll go further than most people expect. But I'll be surprised if they don't get phased. To be very honest.
Yeah.
But yeah. So next on here, I have LA and Dallas. So currently they're tied.
Yeah.
This is a tough one, man. I feel like, in my opinion, eventually maybe the final score doesn't reflect this, but I think like this is the toughest matchup of all the playoff games.
I agree.
Kawhi. I wish Kawhi was fully healthy, but he's not. And
He tried
I
yesterday.
yeah, he tried, and I feel like my dark horse for the playoffs is the winner of this series.
I agree.
Whoever wins this series between Dallas or Clippers, I feel if we don't see Nuggets in the finals, I feel we're seeing the winner of one of those two teams. But honestly, man, it's hard for me to decide.
Yeah, wait,
to go with.
hold on. Sorry. So if Clippers win, you think Clippers will win? Bruh, you must be
I'm
dreaming,
not. No,
man.
no, I'm not
I don't
saying they
think
will win
Clippers.
the
I
ring.
think Clippers
I'm
have
not.
a cause, bro.
I'm not saying no. So
That makes
here's
Kawhi
the thing.
easily lose.
So here's the thing, right? My point with I can't say Clippers confidently because I feel Clippers have too many if players, right? And just going by history, James Harden, Paul George,
That's
like
what I'm
you
looking
know what
at.
I'm saying. These are
Like, what do you mean by
This is like,
me. So me making that statement, and I'm being very honest with you, is me just saying, again, I think when it comes to teams in the league, when it comes to Nuggets, Celtics, I feel Clippers are very close to those guys in terms of how well-rounded the teams are, right? But the problem with Clippers, which again I see that's why you're like raised eyebrow, is those guys, man. Paul George can come today and be looking like some bomb-ass player. James Harden can come today and be looking like some bomb-ass player.
hey, sorry. This is where I interject. With James Harden, if you go to my Twitter, you think I'm a James Harden hater account. But you can't just that dude is like he's like when it comes to this time of the year, it's like nightmare, ghost. Like this is the worst time of the year for this dude. And
Yeah,
having that guy on your team somehow, some way, with the fact that the Clippers already had the Bozo gene.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Clippers
yeah.
already had Bozo gene before James Harden joined
yeah,
them.
yeah.
They already had the Bozo gene, except if minus minus equals into plus. And for some
Shout, shout,
reason,
shout out,
Bro,
shout out Westbrook too,
that
shout.
team,
Because they have Westbrook too.
team is a
So,
casualty.
so that's my thing with Clippers, right? But anyways, we all the points with all the points you've made, right? At first I had because even I know one time we were having this discussion with Tosin. Even Tosin, I think Tosin had Clippers as like a dark horse. Where it's just like, oh no, if there's a dark horse, it's Clippers. But I think anytime we make that statement, we're saying it from a place of if
talent.
if they play as they should. But anyways, I guess let's push that to the side. I will say Dallas, right? I think Dallas because I just find it difficult to believe that these guys will show up as they need to. And with Dallas, my rationale behind Dallas is Luka and Kyrie, man. Like I just feel like you know how we had like LeBron and Kyrie carry that Cavs team to a championship with stupid numbers. Like that's all I'm saying with Dallas. Where it's just like, these guys will just go crazy for the rest of playoffs and push these guys. So I have Dallas coming out of the series, and I don't think Dallas are even playing too well yet. They've been playing very well to end the season. By the way, I think the last maybe 20-25 games they have
They
the
won
best. They have the
23,
best
20.
record.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Dallas probably won 23-2 or something like
yeah.
shit
So
like
yeah,
that.
so they're playing very very well. But I'm even saying like just a series. Like I don't think I don't think they're even playing at their best just yet for this series. So I have them coming out of the series, and I have them challenging Nuggets because here's the thing. I feel when it comes to beating teams like Nuggets, it comes down to just star power versus star power, even though your bench matters and all, like it matters, but I feel it comes down to men. Like you need someone that in the clutch isn't faced by Jokic and Murray because Jokic and Murray are the clutchest in the league, in my opinion. Like you don't want to be in a 2 3 point game with those guys with 2 minutes to go. But then if you have
Kyrie.
Luca and Kyrie
Thank
can
you.
go can like they
Thank
can they
you.
can they can go at that, right? So
Thank you.
yeah.
The so again, I support the Mavs and
Wait, how many teams do
Clippers
you
have knocked
support?
us
You
out of the
support
first
Mavs, you
round.
support Bucks, like support what other teams do you
I mean
Listen,
support?
East and West now.
Oh, okay, okay,
listen,
okay.
listen. Listen. I think the thing with the NBA is just growing up here and everything. I have no like affiliation to like a city or something. There's no affiliation to a city or anything. So I'm just following players that I like and stuff like that. Then I support that team. It's literally that. Like there's no like I have no affiliation to cities and everything. But as I was saying, the Clippers have knocked us out two times in the last 3 years, and it's solely because of Kawhi. Kawhi has been the reason why we did not beat them, especially in 2021. He was the reason why, like, Luca was going crazy, and this man said, "I am going to go even. I'm going to go to the another planet," and he knocked us out. But I remember watching. I was watching like tape of some of those playoff series, like a couple days ago, and the biggest thing that is different from this Mavs team to those Clippers team is there was no game we could win on defense. There was no game the Mavs could ever say we are winning this game because of our defense. And if you see the Mavs now compared to that Mavs team, this is a completely different team in terms of we're actually winning games defensively,
Yeah,
not because
yeah,
of our scoring.
yeah,
And the second thing, we never had Kyrie. We never had someone that you want to double team Luka? Good luck. We're giving this guy the ball, and we
yeah,
know what he does. So there are two things. The Mavs are bigger. The Mavs play defense. I don't know if you guys were watching yesterday. This dude, what's his name? PJ Washington. Go look at his defense. Go look at his defense on PG. Go look at his defense on Harden. Go look at his defense on Kawhi. Even when they are scoring, they are having to score
yeah,
under
yeah. You
to
walk,
they have to
you walk
walk
for that bucket, bro.
and we have Derrick Jones Jr. So it's like this is a tough series, and any team that loses this series is going to go back home very very sad because this is
Yeah,
round one.
yeah,
But it's
and it's
also,
a tough out.
to be honest, it's a pick me series. If you want to
Yeah,
pick Clippers, fine with me. I am more leaning towards Dallas because I feel we could have beaten these guys years ago and we were not good defensively. We did not have size. We did not have options in terms of the strategy we could use. Our literally thing
Sure.
was Luca goes crazy, space out, we hit threes. If we don't hit threes, we lose. That's not these maps. These maps can
yeah,
win on defense. And I feel that's the reason why I am believing. This is not rational. This is
yeah,
not rational. I am believing that we can get this series from this team that has been, especially Kawhi, because I love Kawhi and I respect Kawhi so much, especially from this guy, that we can finally get one over them. And also, again, if we lose, Tyloo is a genius.
Oh
The
yeah,
coach is a
Talus,
genius.
and
Like,
he doesn't get enough props, by the way.
I'm being serious, guys. He has the Clippers are scored on every after timeout against the Dallas in this series. Every time it's a timeout and they get the ball back, they score on that possession. Like, he's a genius.
Yeah,
And
Talus is
the
really good, man.
and again, it comes down to Luca and Kyrie. And obviously, we need to keep defending. Like, if you go look at the numbers that we're putting up in terms of defending against the Clippers, go look at the other games we played against them. It's not the same. So
Yeah, yeah,
Luka and Kyrie has to carry us home, but we
yeah,
have to still remain good defensively.
yeah.
And I
Uh,
believe in a game 7, Luka comes through.
yeah.
That's all I'll
And
say.
one thing to add before Andrew goes is to all the points you've made, like Dallas have come close when they had Bronson, right? And I feel like that upgrade from Bronson to Kyrie makes so much of a difference, right? And
Yeah.
if anything, that in addition to the defense you're talking about is why, again, I'm like, if Dallas comes out of this series, if there is a team that isn't Nuggets or Celtics winning the title, I have those guys, right? And it's the same way. I think we're having this discussion prior where if someone like Luca was in Celtics instead of Tatum, they would have at least one championship now. They probably have two by now. Do you get what I'm saying? Because Luca is just that guy. He just needs a good enough supporting cast to do the job.
And this and
But
this is and this is the best team Luca's ever had. I know we went to the
yeah,
Western. I know we went to the Western Conference Finals. But if you go watch all those games, when we did not score our 3 pointers and score 120 points, we did not win.
yeah,
We did not win
yeah,
any of those games. We had to score a certain amount of points to win.
yeah.
But this is not this current team right now. And I think this current team is more athletic, better defensively. And I feel Luca, and Kyrie is better. Kyrie is a. I don't want.
Harry's
I need
more
to give Andrew the
focused.
floor, but
Might not be
what?
better, but it's just way more focused
Thank
this
you.
year. Yeah, from what I'm seeing.
The one thing I would disagree is I think this is the most complete version of him ever. Even in the Cavs. In the Cavs, he chose and picked when they wanted to play defense, maybe onto the finals. Kyrie has been playing defense throughout this whole season, from the start of this season. As a playmaker, Kyrie has always been a great passer, but it's always like, oh, when I get to the last 1 second of the clock, then I'll kick it back. No, now he's like actually facilitating and actually finding teammates, finding lob. Like you saw the pass that he gave behind the back
Yeah.
yesterday.
And
To
I think he's also playing with a chip on his shoulder because Kyrie has had a lot of failed attempts in the last post LeBron essentially. So I
yeah,
feel now he's now actually playing. This is the first time I'm seeing Kyrie focus. So just like, you know what? You guys have been chatting shit on my name. And it's like, let me actually try and get this done with Luca because if they're able to do that, then Kyrie goes to the next level of conversations about his career where it's just like, okay, now this guy, you have to put more respect on his name. And I think he's playing with that in
Yeah,
mind too.
yeah.
But yeah, Andrew,
yeah, that's fine.
go ahead.
Yeah, so I think you guys actually covered most of the things I was going to say regarding this.
Yeah.
But I feel like the Mavs will definitely qualify early game 6 or game 7. I don't think Clippers have all it takes to
Yeah. And the fact
win
that
this.
Kawhi is not 100%, man,
Yeah, just
that might be
yesterday
the
while
biggest thing
watching the
for me.
game, Kawhi, I think his first half he had like was he 5 points or something, and I was just like, this is not the Kawhi that me I
Yeah.
know and love. So I know he came back second
And
half,
it's take time for
put
him
up
to
some
get back.
numbers, but
Yeah.
it's I think that's going to be the story of the season. They'll be chasing them throughout, and yeah, Mavs will have it for me.
Fair enough.
Guys, sorry for interrupting you. Just as we're saying, the the
I
Celtics,
was about
the
to say
Celtics,
that.
the Celtics, the Celtics are about to lose. The
Yeah,
Celtics
man.
are about to lose to
Like,
Miami, and
like
I,
I'm
I
sorry.
don't know what to say
Like this
about
is why I don't rate that team out. I'm sorry, man. Like you're so good, but
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
ah,
you also know you also know good. This is one thing Andrew said. You believe in the Clippers. People that like these teams that have bozo genes, they just keep on showing us they have bozo genes every season.
yeah.
Somehow, somewhere.
I'm
So
sorry. Like I don't care. Celtics should not be dropping. Like they should. Ideally, they should sweep Miami to
they,
begin with.
you should
And
beat.
and and if they're not sweeping them, you definitely should not
yeah,
be losing a game at home to those guys. There's no Jimmy Butler, bro. Like, let's be serious. And Celtics are a much better team. They're the best team in the league. Looking at the numbers, looking at everything. Do you get what I'm saying? But again, Celtics just always show up. Like
They'll
the
be
real Celtics, when you need them to really, really show up. But then again, like I feel like obviously they most probably win this series. I don't want to even think that there's a chance that they don't win this series. But it's just like they'll win it in a fashion where you're like, okay, bro, like you guys could have won that much easier. Like,
all I want for me, all I want for my ops, I always just want drama. For my ops, I always just want drama. I just need drama. Let's see if Miami wins. Let's see Miami wins next game. Then now Celtics are down 2-1. And now I want
do,
the fear of
do,
the
you,
Lord inside there.
do you know who I wish Celtics were facing next round? I wish they
Who?
were facing winner of Pacers Bucks.
Because the Bucks has been beating their head in. Like
I
that's
think
the
that would
funny
be
thing.
perfect.
That's the funny thing. The Bucks have been beating these guys since.
Because the problem with Celtics is I feel like once they meet a team that can actually match up to them, that's where they lose. So if let's even say Pacers, like I feel if they meet Pacers, I would pick Pacers to win that series. But anyways, let's move on to let's continue with our West boys. So next on our list here we have Minnesota and Phoenix Suns.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yo, I love this one because see, I'm going to be so happy when Minnesota wins this. Because I remember when this whole Suns nonsense started, when they had, it's like, oh, they are big three, you know, the first thing I said was, this is not going to work. You can't just put three stars or three scorers on a team and think it will work. And I feel all the big threes or star-studded squads they've put together in the last only 5-6 years, none of them have worked, right? And I always say people make reference to like Golden State, but there's a lot of things people don't factor into why Golden State worked that well. Like from the individuals to their style of play to the organization, all those things play a part in it working well. But now, anyways, fast forward to Suns, it just for me it was just like that wasn't going to work. Like first of all, like they didn't have any other trustworthy players, at least in my eyes. So it's just like if you think you can just have three stars on a team, I think that would win you a championship. Then maybe you're not really paying attention. That was one. The funniest part of it to me was Booker coming out to say, "How are they going to get there?" Was hard, bro. When he said that, I was just like, "Oh my god, I can't wait for postseason when this guy realizes that he's not playing 2K, bro. This is real life. Like forget all that. Like you think you can come here and play ISO ball like you're in some park somewhere and." Like, bro, and the thing is, sometimes I don't understand why players put themselves or their organizations or their teams in that position. Even if you think that,
So they're
there's
putting
absolutely no reason for it to
a
come out.
target on yourself.
A target for no reason. You get so it's like now you're here. Also, Booker, man.
We need to have conversations
we need
about
to have
that
a conversation
guy
about that guy, but you know what?
because
Maybe not today.
not today, but look at that guy's career outside of Chris Paul, and it's spooky.
Bro,
It's
even
absolutely
forget,
spooky.
even consider Chris Paul. Booker is a gunman. Do you get what I'm saying? Like Booker is a scorer. Do you get what I'm saying? Like Booker gets hot and then he's unstoppable. Yes, I get all that. I understand all that. But when you look at a lot of Booker's crazy games, when you look at the context in a good number of
They
those
always
games,
lose, yeah.
exactly. You see L's. You see, like I remember I think his 71. I think his 71 point game. I think they were down double digits when he was still on maybe 40 something or 50 something. Like do you get what I'm saying? It was just like like I don't say pointless because those like that is still amazing to drop those numbers. But now it's like, bro, when we need you to do something, all of a sudden
He's
look ain't wet no more, man.
he's oh sorry, Andrew, I'll let you go. But if you guys see his elimination numbers, it's pretty much the same as James Harden. His number in
Yeah.
elimination games. Yeah, Andrew, you can go. Sorry.
Yeah, I was about to just say is just as Kade was saying, like those games are pointless. Like we don't care about the amount of points you made if you didn't win. Like it doesn't really matter, honestly.
Yeah,
And I also
it doesn't
feel
matter. Kind of just like when we need you.
yeah, when we need you, you're not there. So when we don't need you and you're showing up,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter. Like it's like, for example, it's
And
like
Booker talks so
like
much
if
smart,
you
bro.
put this into context of like education, it's like in your practice exam you got 100%, but in the main exam you got 50%. Yeah, nobody cares about your 100% in your practice.
Yeah, who fuck cares about your practice, bro? You know what annoys me about Booker? Like Booker talks so much shit, bro. And I hate players that talk so much but can't back it up. And another favorite moment of mine in recent NBA history is Luka knocking them out. Oh god. Bro, I loved it because and Doncic is Luka is different, man. Because I would never forget when he was going on about like niggas talking when they're up and all that.
Yeah,
Which Luka is known for. Like
he's a
Luka
front. He's a front runner.
he's always chit chatting when he's in a position where it's like he doesn't think he can lose, and
He's a
then
front runner.
once once he's in a different situation or he's the one, he's the one behind and things like that. All of a sudden he's so meek, he's so calm, just going about his business. And
Let
then
me, let me was it was in March, right? Sorry, when they made the trade, I didn't believe in it either. But I remember in March saying a lot of the media were talking about like, hey, when they click, when they click, when they click, when they click. And I was saying it. I tweeted, I was like, I just don't have any fear for the Suns, like some part of the media. Their best guys want to operate in the mid range. There's a particular part of the
Yeah.
floor three of these guys want to operate in. These guys have been successful scorers in that part. But the thing is, they've been successful because of the amount of volume they can have. Because one is just one of them, right? Is one of them. Okay, when Booker was in Chris Paul, when Chris Paul was there, also Chris Paul wants to operate in the mid range, but Chris Paul also has responsibilities like playmaking that he can stay away from that area of the pitch. But Bill operates in the mid range. Kevin Durant operates in the mid range. Devin Booker operates in mid. So now you are lessening their volume. So once they have a game where they're not shooting well, they don't have the opportunities to just go and keep on shooting to get their
get
efficiency
them
up
back.
because
Yeah.
it's three guys. Secondly, they are small. Thirdly, they have no sort of playmaking. Three of these guys are not playmakers, and that's their biggest issue.
Yeah.
I feel even with the fact that they are defensive
No
liability,
point, no point guard.
like even the fact that they are defensive liabilities in the team and everything, and they're not good defense. If they had like a supreme point guard, imagine it was. Let's think. Imagine it was Bill Booker Jokic. Or imagine it was KD Booker Jokic, right? You have this supreme playmaker. Your defense is not going to really matter because now KD and Bill are not having to do 10 dribbles or run some pick and roll. They're just in their spots, driving up and down. Someone gives them the ball, they shoot, they shoot, they shoot. It makes things live. So that's
Yeah.
the biggest issue is none of their best guys are even B minus playmakers. Because
Yeah.
if you look at Kevin Durant in the playoffs for the past few years since he
Yeah.
left Golden State, the amount of turnovers he's always having during the playoffs is because once teams double team him, he makes too many mistakes playmaking wise. And finally, the Suns have a propensity to let some random guy score 30 points on them.
Yeah.
They will not even let the best player on that team score 30 points on them. They will let some random guy. Yesterday is Jaden McDaniels that scored 28 on them, right? The Luca and Sons game, right? That you're talking about, right? Spencer Dinwiddie scored 30 points in a game 7. They have a propensity to make sure that random guys on the bench. Nikhil Alexander Walker had 24 points in the first game. Like, this is the things they do. And I've said it. I don't care about these guys being scorers and they can score 30 points. I'm not scared. Like, I
Yeah,
genuinely was
man.
I never was
Like
scared about the Suns.
basketball is
Never scared.
basketball is more than that, and that's why I was saying, like, when it first happened, I'm like, sure, I hear it. Obviously, you have three supreme players on your team and whatnot, but it will take more than that, right? And I was like, at some point, maybe they're going to make the right adjustments or trades, so that they have a bench that really and truly can support that team. But outside of that, I'm like, as currently constructed, like even Golden State that didn't make the playoffs, if somehow we were in a series with
With those guys.
Suns, I'll pick Golden State over Suns. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Because it's just like, bro, and I think one important point you made there is mid range. Like, those guys operate in the same fashion. So it's just like and that's why I'm saying, like, when people think they can just put stars together and they're looking like a team like Golden State, you're looking at a team like Golden State that had KD, Corey, Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson and Corey are straight up shooters that can do without the ball. Do you get what I'm saying? You have a facilitator in Draymond Green. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you have Corey that can play off ball or on ball if you need him to. So it's just like, to your point, KD never really had to handle the ball. And then every now and then when KD wanted to go ISO, he had the opportunity to do that because there was no one else on the team that really did that. You
Di-
get?
Diversification of skills.
Yes.
Literally.
So it's just, and the thing too is like, Booker, Bill, and KD also loves to play ISO ball. There's only one ball. So at what point do each of you want to run that play, right? But bruh, anyways, I have
But wait, why are we talking about the losers so much? What of the
Just what
what of
say,
the
I was
what
like
of
also
the
about to
moves?
say
we completely
I was about to say so
ignore the winners so far.
yeah, so sorry to the Timberwolves fans there, but I think they would easily win, especially now that this guy got injured,
Grayson
Grayson.
Allen.
Yeah, like now that he's injured, I think Timberwolves can actually sweep them, but I want to believe one of Booker or KD will go crazy at home and still and just win a game for their crowd.
All
But
all
but
I'll say is
outside of
that
that,
Kevin Durant better not get swept again. He will hear from me. He will hear from me. He will hear from me. I have I have
nah,
I have things to say about that. So you will hear from
nah.
me. You better not get swept.
And I won't lie, like being a Curry fan, I know then when I used to give Curry and Golden State props as to why Durant was able to operate as he was, then it was like, oh, you're just being a maybe KD hater, or like you're just trying to magnify your play and honor. But I'm just like, do you know how easy it is for you to operate on a floor that has Curry and Klay Thompson? Like, like three is always going to be greater than two, right? And we saw that over and over again. The way teams would have their defenses focus on Curry and his shooting over Durant. Sure, Durant is the better player in terms of like one for one skill set and all that, but it's a team sport. That's not how it works, right? So when you
Facts.
have people paying so much attention on Corey, when they are doubling people, they are doubling Corey, not KG. Of course, with a skill set like KG's, it's so easy for you, or at least easier for you to play your basketball how you want to play it because no one is. And then you now had Klay Thompson in the peak of his powers then. So there was no time to be doubling KD. But now he has gone out of that system to the real world where it's just like, okay, now back to reality. Now
Back
you
to
see you,
reality.
you see the shane easy, right? And so it's nice to see everything unfold this way so that people can come back to reality and understand that, oh yeah, like yeah, KD might be a better player than Corey. KD might have won those final MVPs in Golden State. But if Corey was not there, don't get it
That's
twisted.
Hey man, they won a championship before you. They
Before
won
and
it. They
after.
won a championship after you,
Exactly. So don't
without
get it
you.
twisted. It's not happening. And in those KD years as well, like people try and make it seem like it was all KD. Corey was averaging almost as many points as KD in all those series. Like KD was averaging maybe 33. I think Corey was somewhere around
20,
29, 29,
28. Yeah.
28, 29. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's just like those are still a lot of points to, you know, for the second best player on the team to average. Like KD didn't carry that team to the championship. He was the best player, but he did not carry that team, right? So,
Yeah.
but anyways, I think Timberwolves win this one relatively
In
easy.
yeah. Same.
Yeah. And this guy, Anthony Edwards, didn't even play well the second game.
I don't think he made
hey
up
man,
to
hey
20
man,
points. It was like 15 or
Yeah,
yeah,
I
he
think
was.
we had 12.
It was 3 out of 12
Yeah.
for the game. The only thing is, the one thing I would love also. I'm a hater. The one thing I would love is Devin Booker should drop another 50 ball and they
they
still,
should lose.
and they still
That's unfair
lose.
now.
and they, I need
But
that.
I actually don't like
I
Booker
just,
at all,
I
man.
just
So
need that. I just need that because I'm a hater. That would just be fun for me. That's all. That's all.
anyways, going to our last game here. The LA Lakers
Oh
The LA
man.
and Denver
floppers.
Nuggets. You know what? You know what? I actually this year I felt Lakers could challenge, not beat them. I felt like Lakers would put in more of a fight, which obviously the series isn't over yet.
Yeah.
But watching that second game, Lakers losing that second game, for me, I'm like, I'm sorry, man. Like, if you're losing that game, then I can't, like, there's no angle I can even try and look and say, these guys have it in them because 20 points up and losing that game where Jamal Murray, I mean, he came alive in the fourth quarter, but he was asked for most of the game. Jokic did not particularly, he played well, don't get me wrong, he played very well and all that, but we've seen Jokic be better than that. Do you get what I'm saying? We've seen Jamal Murray be better than that. Like, if you're not beating them, also like LeBron and AD are putting numbers on the board. Do you get what I'm saying? Like they are balling. Dilo made career high or like I don't know, Lakers franchise high threes in playoffs or something like that. Like so you guys can't put all that together and lose that game. Like I'm sorry. So at this point, again, I just don't think they would sweep them still. So I might just have to go Nuggets in 5, right? Because Nuggets is not the kind of team you want to play around with in this position. Like they're too up going to your house. It's hard for me to see Nuggets losing back-to-back games. It's very
The
hard. Yeah, no, go on, Samuel.
I, 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 I think you're right. I think this game is going to be quick too. I think Lakers might get swept again because technically they are 10-0 the Nuggets,
Bro, that's actually
right?
another crazy start. They've lost their last, I think it's 11 now.
Yeah,
They've lost their last 11. Like
yeah,
what are you doing here, bro?
11. Yeah,
you
so yeah, I think it will just extend.
you
It's
you
not
know
a new thing.
you know what's good. You know what's going to piss Lakers off fans more, or Lakers is more like it's not like we are not good or, but this
Because
guy.
because because
Yeah,
any other,
just
I
way
promise you,
better.
any other team in the West, Lakers probably beat them in a series of
And
seven.
you know one of the things that they are showing us is if the Nuggets didn't exist, there's actually a path for them to the finals.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
Yeah,
actually a clear
100%.
there's actually a
Yeah,
clear path to the but the thing
Jokic is too good, man.
but for context, right? I was watching that game and as of the 10th minute mark in the third quarter, so that's 24, after 26 minutes, the Lakers had 68 points. Denver were on 58, right? 20 point, no, sorry, 70 something, actually, 70 something points. Yes, they had 78 points, Denver had 58 points. So in 26 minutes, you had 78 points. Guys, they ended that game with 21 points. They ended that game from the 10th minute mark in third quarter. They scored only 21 points from the next 22 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was because Denver were just like, oh fuck it. We're going to switch Aaron Gordon on AD.
Yeah.
We're going to start playing defense on you. And this you guys remember when Golden State used to go crazy, they would give you like this short burst of 3 minutes, they'll blow the lead to 20, 30. No, Denver's
third
one is even
quarter.
kind of
We did that every
annoying.
third
They
quarter.
would just keep hitting. They would they will actually do it through a whole quarter where they chip into that lead or they blow you out throughout that whole quarter. And I was just impressed by them because obviously we know their offensive prowess, but it was also the fact that defensively they just said, oh, fuck all that shit. We're going to defend you guys. And they absolutely just LeBron was having to make you see the shots LeBron was making in fourth quarter. He was having to
Yeah,
make
man. Yeah,
the
man.
toughest
Some crazy
the
shots.
toughest shots ever. And the thing that is special about this team is that they have been playing like this for so long this way. And it's just amazing that guys, they went 8 out of 8. The final, like which team goes like you have
You
which
see,
team goes
the problem with Nuggets, and this is why again, I know I said I don't. I just have a feeling that Nuggets or Celtics don't win. I
yeah,
don't have anything to back that up. That's just a feeling.
yeah,
But the reason it's so hard to look at a team winning it outside of Nuggets, especially if they are healthy, is when it just comes to teams, bro. It doesn't get better than Nuggets. Like they're
doesn't.
like it's like a puzzle that just fits 100% from start to bottom. Like every single player, KCP, MPJ, Brown, like every single one of them, they know exactly what they are doing. Aaron Gordon, like they know everything they're doing defensively, offensively. When it's time for Jokic to be Jokic, when it's time for Murray to be Murray, like guy is insane. So it's just like it's just I won't lie. As a team going to face that, it's demoralizing.
Is demoralizing because you have to play. Well, it's like just in life, right? You cannot just gain a habit that you don't do regularly, right? The Nuggets do this; they've been doing this for years. So now they're actually in a position where the players are in their prime. They don't have injuries and stuff. So it's actually crazy. Do you guys see when Jamal Murray made that jelly layup after he's been struggling?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I remember texting my boys in the group chat. I was like, "Oh, It's over. I was like, you could see it coming, and he started making his mid range, and I
Like
was
he
like,
just started slowly, slowly, slowly. Like we
I'm
literally watched him like heat up
he.
until that crazy ass shot that he took, where you're
So
just like, that is the kind of shot he's going to go and make, obviously.
so think about it. The Lakers went like I can't remember the numbers, but the Lakers went like 60% in the clutch for that game. I think after like 3 minutes mark, right?
Yeah,
But 60% in any world, you just think that is
that's more
incredible.
than
That's
enough. Yes.
amazing. The Nuggets went 8 out of 8. You cannot do anything. Those guys
Yeah,
are too perfect.
yeah.
18.
They're perfect. I think that's the word, perfect. Like they've gone to a point where they've done this for so long that they're perfect.
We are forgetting that like dynasties are in NBA, and I think we are witnessing the Nuggets
Well, with
dynasty. Like
I
that's the
personally
world
don't
we
think
are
they'll
in.
go as I don't think they'll go as far as the dynasty though.
If you
the
win,
reason why I agree with Andrew, the reason
if
why
they
I,
go to like 4 or 3 finals out of 5, that's a dynasty. And if they win 2 out of the
that's a dynasty.
that's a dynasty. So that's
Oh
what
no, 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 for sure, for sure. I'm just saying more from a point of like I just feel like again, like I said, I don't have anything to back this up. This is just me having a gut feeling that that doesn't happen. But as of now, like
Jokic is not defendable. That's the issue.
yeah,
Like this,
it's actually
as you
not
said, the
defendable,
team,
man.
it's a puzzle that works perfectly. So why don't you believe it? You
And
just hate
wait,
them
and
or
guys, I'm not joking. So people talk about the 20 point lead a lot, right? That Lakers had, obviously normal. But if you guys watch that game, did you see how many ins and outs Nuggets had throughout the whole game? Even when you are beating them, you never feel it's because of something you are doing.
Yeah,
It's because they are missing great
short,
shots. Bro,
yeah,
they had, I'm not joking, I counted 6 or 7 in and outs. Jokic, MPJ, Jamal Murray. They were just having in and out shots that were like, and if you guys remember, the crowd wanted to like explode, but
yeah,
they'll
yeah,
be like,
yeah.
oh shit, it's not going in. And it's special to see them that even when they are struggling, it doesn't feel
It
like
doesn't
it's
phase them.
because of you.
Mhm.
It's not because of
It's not
your
because of your
team. It's
defense.
because
It's just
they
because of
get
me.
the only time the only time they get a bad shot is when Reggie Jackson is there, and Reggie Jackson wants to do. Right, I think everybody needs one guy with CTE on the team, and Reggie Jackson is the guy that does the CTE moment. But it's actually incredible because I remember starting watching the NBA in like 2016, and guys, they've been playing this way since then.
Yeah,
They were just
yeah,
not good. They were just
enough.
young.
Yeah, yeah,
And not good enough at that time,
yeah.
but they've been playing that way since then. So when you play against them now, you almost get into a case where every time you turn the ball over, you're just if anytime your team turns the ball over, you're just
Yeah.
like, oh
I,
god.
I, I won't like it's giving like Barca DNA, like how like Barca in their prime where it's just like you knew how Barca were going to play and there was nothing you could do about it. And they'll put Pedro there, Pedro will fit into it. They'll put Sanchez there, Sanchez will fit into it. They'll put whoever it is, but they had their main guy or their main guys, which then was like Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, and everyone around. I mean, there's
Bu-
Busquets and the rest,
Busquets.
but
Yeah.
it was just like obviously with football there's more players there, but the idea is like you have your main pieces and then they just put everyone else around and it just works perfectly.
If,
And I feel like
even
that's what Nuggets are doing right now.
even the young kid, the
Yeah,
Braun
bro.
guy,
Yeah.
that dude is like 6'4". He was giving up like 5 inches to LeBron. And did you guys see his defense on LeBron from the third quarter to the fourth? Like I'm like, this dude is not meant to be able to do this. And
Yeah.
all those dudes fit, and it's actually
Yeah, it's
beautiful
crazy. It's
because
crazy.
one of the things I actually heard today that happened, or one guy said the one of the things that is annoying about the Nuggets is you can't even hate on them. You cannot even
Yeah,
hate on
you
them.
can't, man,
You
actually.
actually you play them and you're like, I wish my team play like you guys. Like that's you play them and you're like, I can't even hate on them.
But yeah, anyways, I think that brings us to the last game. Oh, Andrew, you're about to say something, sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say I feel like Lakers might win one game just to end this their losing streak against the Nuggets. I think the fans deserve at least one game, and I felt like the last game was that game, but they couldn't just close it out. But yeah, hopefully they win one game and it's like a 5 game series. But ideally, they should get swept again, and I would like to see LeBron get some swept again in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean that's what it is, man. But yeah, so I think yeah, so we've gone through all the games. So I think to round it up, what we'll do now is let's just everyone just give their I would say finals prediction. So conference and finals. I mean, I think as we've gone through this, we've kind of all hinted on who we think would win. But but yeah, let's just give those finals predictions. So who anyone wants to go first?
I'm going to go conference finals is going to be Dallas against the Nuggets.
Okay. I actually have the same. I have the exact same for the West. I think Dallas and Nuggets. I honestly think Timberwolves Denver is going to be quite the series because people should not forget Timberwolves have the best defense in the league. They have the size for Denver and everything. I just don't believe in Denver enough to pick them to the conference finals or anything, right? But I 100% think there's a chance. It probably won't happen, but there's a chance for them to knock those guys out.
The offense is not good enough for
Yeah,
Denver.
yeah, yeah. I think
That's
that's
the
the problem.
problem.
Yeah, I think that's the problem because you have to execute against Denver to beat them. It's not just about the defense. And it's like no matter how good your defense is, you
Yeah.
can never shut out your kid. So yeah, you have to score.
So what's
And
your
before it was
prediction
your own,
for? Oh, okay.
you don't
Sorry.
know. Give us your Western prediction now.
Oh, okay. Mine will be obviously Nuggets and OKC. I feel like they'll
Oof.
over Mavs, but yeah, OKC.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Okay.
interesting.
Okay, see that's a nice one, sure. Like okay, see, again, like I can never hit on that pick, but yeah, man, I would love to see it, but I just think they are too young a team to beat,
I haven't seen them.
say, a team like Dallas or
Yeah, I actually
West.
see them like the team because I watch them. I don't know. Coincidentally, I watch them so much. Like whenever I tune in, I'm always seeing an OKC game,
Yeah,
and that squad just reminds me so much of the Ibaka, Durant, Harden squad of like
yeah,
2009 or
okay,
something.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know. It just reminds me so well of that squad,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
feel like these boys are like determined. And yeah,
They're
I
serious.
see it
They're
when they
serious.
play.
yeah,
And and they go 11
Yeah,
deep.
yeah, bro,
They
yeah, bro.
they don't
I
play
see it.
they
Yeah,
don't play seven guys. They actually play legit 10 guys that
yeah,
so I
actually
feel like
play.
we're
So
missing like
yeah,
nah,
yeah.
fair.
I honestly
yeah,
that
that's
that's
what I
fair,
feel.
man.
That they'll just edge it out. Probably like game 7 or something, but it'll be very entertaining, but they'll get to the conference finals.
Yeah,
And then for the
yeah,
for,
1000%. And they have shy, man.
yeah, they also have
Anything's
shy.
possible with that guy.
Sure. So how about you?
For me, so yeah, I think for the West, I already said I have the same
Oh, okay.
with Samuel. I have what did I even say again?
Nuggets and
Nuggets
Mavs.
and
Yeah.
Dallas. Yeah. But for the East,
Oh my
honestly, I
god.
wish I wish Butler was playing because if Butler was playing for the East, I would have
Heat.
had Miami and Indiana, right? But as it is, I'm going to go Celtics and Pacers
So you,
for
you
the
think the
for
you
the
think the
East.
you think the Pacers beats the Knicks?
Yeah,
Nope.
I think Pacers beat
Ooh,
the
That's
Knicks.
okay.
I
Okay.
think Pacers beat the Knicks. Like I'm
I
sorry, but
I
I
completely
don't even
I,
see
I
it
don't
too.
see it at all.
yeah,
I think the Knicks beats their head in like badly because the
Yeah,
Knicks is
The Knicks are going to
the
be
Knicks is not an if you're an ill-disciplined team and have holes in your team, the Pacers will beat you. The Pacers will
yeah,
beat you. But the Knicks are not that type of team. I really feel that the Knicks will beat them in like five.
yeah.
I really see the Knicks will beat them in five. Like they have the pieces to guard Halliburton. They have the pieces to guard Siakam. They have
No,
they
fair
they are,
enough.
they are, they are a disciplined team that they're not just going to let the Pacers just run. Nah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think the Knicks beat their head in.
I think the problem with me and the Knicks is like cause see, I'm a
you're still
believer
looking
in.
at
I always
them
say
like
this.
that,
No, 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 not
Nick.
even that. Like, no, 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 not even that. Right? I always say for every championship team, right, or even a championship contender, at least in my experience as well, you need two. I don't say two superstars, but you need two proper stars. Do you get what I'm saying? And for me, Knicks right now are operating with Jenny Bronson, bro. And I think that's just what I can get over. They're a very good team. And I feel like OKC too are in a similar spot of like, it's just shy. Obviously, Jalen Williams is putting in his shift. So, Chet is putting in his shift. But it's like, there's no second, there's no co-star, and that's my thing, man. So I mean, like, yeah, and I'll be happy to be wrong on that one, but
Bronson might average 40 against the
Exactly.
Pacers. Let's be like
that, but we're talking about the normal Bronson. Like I always say, like postseason is different, and
no, the Knicks have sorry, the Sixers are having great defense
on
against
him.
Brunson. Like
Yeah,
they're putting Batum on him and
yeah.
they're putting a lot of length on him. The Pacers are not that kind of disciplined team,
So what do
in
you
my
enough,
opinion. That's how
fair
I
enough,
feel.
fair
So
enough.
I think that
Oh,
I think
man, so you guys have Knicks,
Yeah.
so you guys have Knicks in conference finals.
I would have said if my Bucks were what they are
Yeah.
meant to be, I would have said my Bucks.
Oh yeah,
But no,
yeah, yeah.
but no.
I originally had Bucks going
I have,
finals,
I have no confidence in that
but
team
but
right now.
obviously with Giannis not being there and everything, because bro,
Like
I think any serious team beats Celtics, man. I'm sorry, like you just need to be a serious team to beat Celtics.
yeah, I think Knicks Celtics will be the finals,
Yeah.
conference finals.
Andrew, how about you?
Nah, I'm going with Knicks Cavs for the conference finals. I feel like Cavs will edge it over. I don't like Celtics. I don't and I,
You
and I
know what? You know what?
just
I
feel like
rate it.
Celtics
I
are
rate it.
annoying me now. So if Cavs can do it, I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised, man. So Cavs and
But Cavs are another good team at the end of the day. Do you get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
very good.
If Cavs come to play, they can beat Celtics. Like Celtics is the kind of team that if you get your game right, you can beat them, bro. Like we've seen it happen. Like with Miami Heat, with all these guys at the beginning of the series, like a lot of us were like, oh yeah, these are very good teams, but like, oh yeah, they don't have what it takes. Like Celtics have the star power, like they have Brown, they have Tatum. You get what I'm saying? We give them a lot of respect, and I think rightfully so because of what we've seen them do to that point. But when it comes down to it, they can. I guess like you've been saying, some of Bozo Gene,
Can
man, like their
implode.
Bozo
Can
Gene
implode.
just
Bozo
it
Gene is
it
strong.
comes out to play, man.
But the issue also is I don't mind your pick, Andrew. The biggest thing is Donovan Mitchell has Bozo Gene too.
Yeah, it does.
And this is the problem. Donovan Mitchell is he has the third highest points per game in NBA history in terms of playoffs, right? He's amazing in the playoffs, but there's been too many times this past playoffs where he loves too many home run plays. So home run plays, like he's probably brought his team back into the game, and instead of him to chill out, he will shoot his team out of the game too. It's literally stuff he's done back to back and stuff. And with the Cavs having two bigs in Mobley and Allen, I feel Celtics are just going to spread them out and just shoot
And they
100
can shoot
threes.
actually.
And they can shoot, and they
100
can shoot,
threes.
and they can shoot with the
100
ball
threes.
really well,
And I think
so.
that I think that's the part of this. I think it's because of like if they had a different kind of team structurally where it was not two bigs, because you're going to just take Mobley, they're going to take Mobley out of the paint. They're going to take Allen out of the plate. Allen will probably have to be on Porzingis.
Yeah,
and
and those
Porzingis,
guys, yeah.
and if you see where Porzingis is spacing himself at, it's like
Yeah, because
so
they
I think-
don't play traditional centers in Celtic,
and,
right? So
and
they
now
can't sit in the
you have
paint.
to ask your question: who is Garland and who is Mitchell Garden?
Yeah, they're small. Because yeah.
Oh, true.
I see
They're
why
very
that's a
small.
tough matchup.
I don't know, man. I just feel like
But yeah, Celtics is on serious enough.
I just
for
feel like
anything
they
to
will
happen.
edge it. Well, it's just a prediction.
No,
So,
to be fair,
you know.
they have the Bozo gene, and if they edge it, I'm a hater. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be like, yes, yes.
But yeah. So, anyways,
We'd love to come back to this episode after all this has unfolded.
Oh, yeah,
so we
yeah,
can,
yeah.
like, you know,
because
just-
we're definitely going to be doing.
I think as far as I think overall, obviously we all are in line for Nuggets to win, like everything.
Yeah. Like let me
Yeah.
say this coming from a fan perspective. This is not evidence, but over the past 3 years, I've watched a lot of regular season game. The one team the one team that plays that controlling basketball type of style that has an influence on the Nuggets is the Mavs, because Luka does the same thing Jokic does when it comes to playoffs. Those 12 minutes, 24 minutes of controlling the pace of the game and not being rushed. The difference is Luka can explode to score 40 points, all those type of things that Jokic doesn't really want to score 40 points and stuff. So if you've watched a lot of Mavs against Denver, even in the regular season, and every time, to be fair, Denver has always still beating us because they're just better than us, and we've never had the defensive type of team that can even compete against them. Offensively, we can compete against them. But defensively, we've never been able to compete against them. And if you watch the game, you guys saw the Kyrie game winner, right? And stuff. The Kyrie game winner.
Yeah.
If you watch that game, that was when we made the trades and everything. We can play them on that style they want to play. We can play that style that they want to play with the pieces we have. But honestly, I'm saying that to all say that Nuggets in 6. I'll say that to say that Nuggets in 6.
Yeah, I feel like you have to be a perfect team, or at least you have to be a perfect team for 4 games to be able to beat the Nuggets, and that's hard because
It's just hard.
If Nuggets are perfect and you're perfect, Nuggets probably win.
Yeah,
and Nuggets will give you 4 perfect games. So,
Yeah.
but yes, I mean, we'll definitely be back on this discourse as the playoffs, run through.
Right.
And yeah, yes, for everyone listening, stay tuned. Let us know your own predictions as well. Who you think would win, who you agree with, who you disagree with.
Yep. Spam the
And
comments
yeah,
with your,
Samuel, thanks
with your takes.
for joining. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, man. It was really, really fun. Like I love talk. This is my favorite time of the year, so for sure.
No, I really
For
enjoyed
sure.
this. We definitely should just come and speak about this again at some point. Maybe right before conference finals.
Yeah.
See how we've done with our predictions.
Hey man,
And,
if the Heat wins the Heat wins next game, maybe we're in for a shock. Maybe we're in for another shock.
Oh my
I
god.
don't like NBA has the history of like some real shockers, right? So
Yeah.
who knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
But yeah, so thanks for listening, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share with a friend. And yeah, would see and
episode.
speak to you guys
For sure.
at a later time.